Imagine this. You're standing at the edge of a decision, heart racing, ready to chase your dreams, but a nagging voice stops you cold. What will they think? That fear of judgment, that invisible weight of others' opinions has held us back for centuries. 2,000 years ago, Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, wrestled with the same struggle. In his private journal, Meditations, he scribbled a truth that hits hard even today. We love ourselves more than anyone else, yet we care about their opinions more than our own. Isn't that wild? A man ruling an empire, yet still caught in the trap of worrying about what others think. And here we are in 2025, still letting that same fear drain our energy, cloud our choices, and keep us from being our bold, authentic selves. Picture yourself at a crossroads. On one side, there's the life you want, full of courage, purpose, and freedom. On the other, there's the cage of caring too much about what people say. It's exhausting, isn't it? That constant second-guessing, the hesitation to speak up, to take risks, to just be you. It stops us from chasing what matters, from making the impact we're meant to make. But what if you could break free? What if you could shrug off the weight of judgment and live with unshakable confidence? That's exactly what this video is about. I'm diving into 12 Stoic strategies, time-tested, battle-proven hacks from the greatest minds of ancient philosophy that will help you stop obsessing over what others think and start living life on your terms. These aren't just dusty old ideas. The Stoics weren't monks hiding in caves. They were people like you and me out in the world, facing scrutiny, criticism, and pressure. From emperors like Marcus Aurelius to rebels like Diogenes, they lived in the arena, literally and figuratively, and they mastered the art of staying true to themselves no matter who was watching. Their strategies are practical, powerful, and ready for you to use today. Whether you're battling social anxiety, dodging haters online, or just tired of feeling judged, these 12 Stoic hacks will give you the tools to rise above and reclaim your mental freedom. Welcome to Daily Stoic Habits, where we break down ancient wisdom to help you thrive in the modern world. If you're ready to level up your mindset and live with purpose, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and ring the bell so you never miss a video. Join our community of over 1 million Stoic fans worldwide, and let's get started on this journey together. Up first, we're kicking things off with a wild story about Diogenes, a philosopher who didn't just ignore what people thought, he turned their judgment into his superpower. Let's dive in. Rudder 1, Thak Thuk. Quayoc knew Diogenes. What if the secret to freedom was doing the exact opposite of what everyone expects? Meet Diogenes, the ultimate Stoic rebel. This guy lived in a barrel, wore tattered clothes, and didn't just ignore what people thought. He flipped their judgment into his superpower. Picture this. He's begging in front of a statue, and someone laughs. "What are you doing? That statue can't give you anything." Diogenes smirks and says, "I'm practicing rejection." Another time, he walks backward into a theater, and when people stare, he quips, "You're the ones walking backward through life." Bold, right? Diogenes wasn't just quirky, he was showing us how to break free from society's invisible rules. We're so scared of looking weird or failing that we stick to the script. Dress this way, act that way, don't rock the boat. But Diogenes? He saw those rules as hollow. Even when Alexander the Great, the most powerful man alive, offered him anything he wanted, Diogenes just said, "Move. You're blocking my sun." Imagine that kind of confidence. He didn't need wealth, status, or approval to feel powerful. He found power in being himself. You don't have to live in a barrel to learn from Diogenes. Start small. Wear something bold. Speak up when you'd normally stay quiet, or try something new even if it feels weird. The world won't end. Those conventions we fear breaking, they're flimsier than you think. What's one rule you can bend today to feel a little freer? Number 2. Stand out like Cato. Ever felt the pressure to blend in, to follow the crowd just to avoid standing out? Cato, one of the greatest Stoics, said, "No way." In ancient Rome, where senators flaunted white or purple togas to signal status, Cato showed up in near black robes, barefoot, no tunic. People stared, whispered, judged. But that was the point. Cato wasn't chasing trends. He was training himself to be comfortable with disapproval. Plutarch, the historian, said Cato deliberately dressed differently to get used to being looked at askance. Why? Because true independence comes from not caring if you're seen as unfashionable. Imagine walking into a room knowing all eyes are on you, not because you're trying to impress, but because you're choosing to be different. Cato wasn't loud or flashy. He was quietly defiant, proving to himself that trends don't define him. This made him unshakable. When everyone else fell for Caesar's charm, Cato saw through it, standing alone for what he believed. His secret? He built a habit of not needing others' approval. You can do this too. Try skipping the latest fad. Maybe don't buy that overhyped gadget or skip the must-watch show everyone's talking about. Ask yourself, do I actually want this, or am I just following the herd? By resisting trends, you're strengthening your ability to stand firm when it really matters, like when you face moral or intellectual pressures. What's one way you can be a little more Cato this week? Hit that like button if you're ready to try. Thurka 3. Realize no one's watching. Like Zeno ever felt like the whole world's judging your every move? Spoiler, they're not. Zeno, a young Stoic student, learned this the hard way. His teacher, Crates, sensed Zeno was paralyzed by self-consciousness, terrified of looking foolish. So Crates gave him a humiliating task: carry a pot of lentil soup through the bustling Athenian marketplace. Zeno's sweating, feeling every eye on him. Then Crates sneaks up, smashes the pot, and soup spills everywhere. Zeno wants to disappear, but Crates points around and says, "Look, no one cares. They're all busy with their own lives." That moment changed Zeno. He realized his ego was tricking him into thinking he was the center of attention. The truth? People are too wrapped up in their own worries to obsess over your mistakes. That awkward thing you said at work? That post that didn't get likes? Nobody's losing sleep over it. This is what daily Stoic habits is all about. Freeing yourself from the myth that you're under a spotlight. Marcus Aurelius later echoed this, writing in Meditations about how even the most famous people fade into obscurity. If their legacy doesn't last, why stress about a fleeting judgment? Next time you're mortified, pause and look around. Notice how everyone's caught up in their own world. Try this. Mess up on purpose. Maybe mispronounce a word in a meeting. Or wear mismatched socks. You'll see the world keep spinning. This Stoic hack gives you permission to take risks, screw up, and live boldly. 4. Embrace your uniqueness like Agrippinus. What makes you, you? Your quirks, your passions, your one-of-a-kind spark. No one in history has ever been exactly like you. Yet we dim our light to fit in. Agrippinus, a Stoic in Nero's Rome, refused to do that. When someone warned him, "You're standing out too much." Nero's court values conformity. Tone it down or you're in trouble. Agrippinus replied, with a smile, "I'm the red thread in a white tunic. I make the whole thing more beautiful." Talk about owning it. In a world that prized blending in, Agrippinus embraced his uniqueness like a badge of honor. Nero's Rome was brutal. Talent itself could get you exiled if it threatened the emperor's ego, but Agrippinus knew his DNA. His experiences, his moment in time were a gift no one else could claim. Hiding that would be like throwing away a masterpiece. He stood tall, flaws and all, and lived as himself. No apologies. You've got a red thread, too. Maybe it's your weird laugh, your obsession with sci-fi, or the way you light up talking about your goals. Stop muting it. Try this. Write down one thing you love about yourself that feels too much for others. Then lean into it this week. Share it. Celebrate it. Agrippinus didn't just survive. He thrived by being himself. Ready to do the same? Drop a comment below with your red thread. 5. Break free like Florence Nightingale. Ever felt trapped by what others expect of you? Florence Nightingale did. Born into a wealthy Victorian family, she was supposed to live a cushy life. Marry well, host parties, done. But Florence heard a different call: to serve, to nurse, to save lives. Her parents were horrified. Nursing? It was lowly, improper for a lady. For years, she wrestled with their disapproval, torn between her dreams and their expectations. Then a voice, maybe her own, maybe divine, asked, "Will you let what others think stop you from your purpose?" She said no. Florence broke free, defying her family and society's rules. She became the mother of modern nursing, revolutionizing healthcare and saving countless lives. Her biographer later wrote that the chains she feared were made of straw. Those expectations had no real power. Imagine what she'd have missed if she'd stayed proper to please others. What's holding you back? A parent's doubts? A friend's side-eye? Society's shoulds? Try this. List one expectation you're scared to break, then take a tiny step against it. Maybe say no to a tradition or pursue a passion you've shelved. Those chains? They're straw. Break them. Florence did, and the world changed. Subscribe to Daily Stoic Habits for more stories that inspire courage. 6. Control what you can, like Epictetus. What if you could let go of everything you can't control? Epictetus, a former slave turned Stoic philosopher, nailed this. He taught that life splits into two buckets: things you control, your actions, thoughts, effort, and things you don't, like others' opinions. Sounds simple, but it's a game changer. Why waste energy stressing over what someone thinks of your work, your style, or your choices? You can't control their minds, but you can control how you show up. Epictetus lived this. Enslaved, mocked, exiled, he had every reason to feel powerless. But he focused on his inner world, his integrity, his discipline. No one could take that away. I pour my heart into every video, but once it's out there, I can't control the likes, comments, or critics. If I obsess over that, I'm handing my happiness to strangers. Instead, I focus on my effort, my message. That's freedom. Try this. Next time you're spiraling over someone's opinion, ask, is this in my control? If not, let it go. Focus on what you can do. Maybe work harder, speak kinder, or stay true to your values. Epictetus's hack is like a mental filter keeping you grounded. Want more Stoic wisdom? 7. Question your critics like Marcus Aurelius. Ever let a random comment ruin your day? Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome, faced endless criticism, 50 million subjects, all with opinions. Yet he stayed calm. His secret? He didn't just hear criticism, he questioned it. In Meditations, he wrote, "Look at who they are. What's their character? Do their values align with mine?" If the critic wasn't someone he respected, their words lost weight. Picture Marcus surrounded by advisors, haters, and flatterers. Instead of internalizing their noise, he'd pause and think, who is this person? Are they honest, knowledgeable? Do I admire their life? Often the answer was no. Why let a dishonest senator or a jealous rival shake his confidence? It's like taking driving tips from someone who's crashed every car they've owned. Next time someone tears you down, don't just absorb it. Ask, do I respect this person? Do their values match mine? If not, their opinion's just noise. Maybe it's a coworker who slacks off or a troll online with zero credibility. You're the expert on your life. Trust that. Try this. Write down a recent criticism, then list why the source doesn't deserve your worry. You'll feel lighter. 8. Zoom out. Like Marcus Aurelius. What if the opinions you're stressing about won't matter in a year? Marcus Aurelius was obsessed with perspective. In Meditations, he'd write about history's greatest names, emperors, poets, heroes, and ask, where are they now? Forgotten dust. Even Alexander the Great, who conquered the world, is just a story. His point? The praise, criticism, and chatter we chase are fleeting. They don't last, so why let them control you? Imagine you're freaking out over a bad review or a snarky comment. Now zoom out. Will anyone care in 5 years? 10? Probably not. Marcus would remind us that fame, followers, even haters fade fast. A video might get tons of views today, but next month it's old news. Platforms like MySpace, remember those? Had stars with millions of friends. Where are they now? Gone. It's all temporary. Try this. When you're caught up in someone's opinion, imagine yourself 10 years from now. Will this moment matter? Or picture Earth from space. Your worries shrink fast. This Stoic hack frees you to focus on what lasts, your character, your work. Marcus called applause the clacking of tongues. Funny, right? It's just noise. Want to live above the noise? 9. Choose whose opinions matter. Not all opinions are equal. The Stoics knew this. Marcus Aurelius surrounded himself with mentors, like Antoninus and Junius Rusticus, whose feedback he valued because they lived with virtue. Meanwhile, his son Commodus ignored wise advisors, chasing flattery instead, and tanked his legacy. The lesson? Be picky about whose opinions you let in. Think about it. You wouldn't take fitness advice from someone who's never exercised. So why let just anyone's judgment shake you? I share my work with a few trusted people, my wife, my editor, because they're honest and share my values. Random internet critics, I tune them out. Seneca said to keep a role model in mind, someone of high character whose standards you aim to meet. Maybe it's a grandparent, a teacher, or even Marcus himself. Try this. Pick one person whose opinion you respect. Next time you're worried about judgment, ask, would they care about this? If not, let it go. This hack keeps you focused on what matters. 10. Deserve respect, don't demand it. Ever wished everyone would just admire you? The Stoics had a better plan. Focus on deserving respect, not chasing it. In an 18th century play about Cato, a line inspired America's founders. We cannot guarantee success, but we can deserve it. You can't control if people praise you, but you can control living with integrity. Cato and Marcus Aurelius weren't obsessed with fame. They focused on their actions being just, wise, courageous. Whether history cheered or jeered, they knew they'd earned respect. During the American Revolution, leaders like Washington leaned on this idea when criticized. They couldn't guarantee victory, but they could fight honorably. Try this. Instead of seeking approval, ask, did I do my best today? Was I honest, kind, bold? If yes, you've won. Others' opinions? Out of your hands. This hack builds real confidence. 11. Face your fears. Like Zeno, fear of judgment can paralyze us, but the Stoics had a fix. Face it head on. When Zeno was crippled by embarrassment, Crates made him carry that soup pot to feel the sting of humiliation. It worked. Modern therapy calls this exposure, facing fears to shrink their power. You don't need a therapist to start. Try, small, post something you're nervous about, ask a dumb question, or admit a mistake. Each time the fear loses its grip, but each try makes me braver. The Stoics said unfamiliar fears grow too big. Expose them and they shrink. Next time you're scared of looking silly, lean in, speak up, mess up, laugh it off. You'll find freedom on the other side. 12. Ask the right questions. Not sure if an opinion's worth caring about? The Stoics had a checklist. Marcus Aurelius would ask, is this person wise? Do their values align with mine? Will this matter in 10 years? If the answers were no, he'd let it go. Picture a critic tearing you down. Before you spiral, ask, do I admire this person's life? Are they skilled in what I'm pursuing? Is their opinion actionable? If not, it's just noise. If the critic's just venting, I move on. If it's constructive, I listen. Try this. Next time you're stung by judgment, run it through Marcus's questions. Write down the answers. You'll see what's worth your energy. This keeps you focused on your path. That's it, folks. 12. Stoic hacks to stop obsessing over what people think and unlock a life of freedom, courage, and purpose. From Diogenes flipping judgment into power to Marcus Aurelius zooming out on life's noise, these strategies are your roadmap to mental strength. Picture yourself tomorrow, waking up lighter, unshaken by criticism, ready to chase what you believe in. That's the Stoic way, not hiding from the world but standing tall in it as your truest self. These aren't just old stories. They're battle-tested tools from emperors, rebels, and dreamers who face the same pressures we do today. And they worked. At Daily Stoic Habits, we're here to make ancient wisdom practical for your modern life. Pick one hack to try this week. Maybe it's embracing your red thread like Agrippinus or questioning a critic like Marcus. Each step you take builds a stronger, freer you. The chatter of others? It's just clacking tongues, as Marcus would laugh. Your character, your choices, that's what echoes beyond the noise. So, what's your next move? How will you live bolder, starting now? Due to time constraints, we'll wrap up here. I hope this video has been helpful to you. If it sparks even a tiny shift in how you see yourself or the world, I'm truly fulfilled. Save this video to your playlist to revisit whenever you need a Stoic boost. Please hit that like button and share it with others. Sometimes the right message at the right moment can change a life. And don't forget to subscribe to Daily Stoic Habits and ring that bell so you never miss our next value-packed video. Drop a comment below. Which hack are you trying first? We love hearing from you. For daily doses of Stoic inspiration, sign up for our free newsletter at dailystoichabits.com under email. You can unsubscribe anytime. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay bold, stay stoic, and let's keep growing together. Goodbye for now.